You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish.
99% of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true.
You know, once you do find your frequency on something, go forward if you're a non-tyrant and don't ask permission.
So whenever someone said to me, it can't be done, I heard it can be done. When they said no, I heard yes. And when they said it's impossible, I heard it is possible.
You know, when you have that level of intentionality and you have real drive and purpose behind what you do, what you say, how you act, on the other side of that, you are slowly defining, day by day, your legacy.
Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
Well, there isn't anything better to have than a problem that's worth solving, like that's really worth solving, right? And so the more of that you take on, the more you have a reason to get out of bed in the morning, no matter what.
Sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna shine in the morning. So do you let the days go by and look up and you done wasted a year doing what? Hard work brings great rewards.
For most people, they go wrong because they think it's a feeling when execution is a fact. If you come in great, if you come in poorly, it does not matter. You have to do life, and if you're smart, you do life on your terms, and you don't let life make you do it on its terms.
I dream about it. I visualize it. I see myself being successful. If you can see yourself being successful in your mind, then it will appear in the physical reality.
So here's the choice. Life is either meaningful or meaningless.
Keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
It's hard for people to be themselves. They don't like themselves. They don't like what they are, and so they like to pretend that there's something more exceptional. You know, but what people really seem to enjoy is people who don't do that. People seem to really enjoy people who just work at being a better person, being better at life. You can learn a lot from someone about how much attention they spend on other people's failures, right? How much time they spend pointing out other people's failures, and how little time they spend reflecting on their own. I'll be the first guy, you know, if I fuck up, if I get angry at something I shouldn't have got angry with, I pride myself in calling myself out, because a lot of people have a hard time defining themselves. They define themselves by failure because they failed. But I'm like, you're not your failures, you're you. Okay, your life is a series of lessons you've learned. Now, if you just dwell on the failures, like that's not healthy. It's not smart, and it's not empowering. What you got to do is look at those failures and go, well, now you know what not to do. But you're not that. You're you. You know, you could have done the stupidest fucking shit ever, but it's just not you. That's not you. You're a different thing. You're the being that's experiencing all these failures. And if you know that they're fuck-ups, then you've learned, okay? If you repeat them over and over again, well, then I can't talk to you. I mean, that's the bright side of tragedy. That when you come through it, you really will have an appreciation for the moments without tragedy. You don't really feel it unless unless life burns you. You don't really feel it. Understand that you can struggle, and you can realize that sometimes when things are really hard to do, you think, oh my God, I gotta stop doing this. But once you do it and you complete it, you have a satisfaction, this sense of satisfaction that you did something really difficult that is irreplaceable. I think the idea that's important is action. Do things. Yes. Actually do things. To procrastinate and sit around and debate things forever before anything gets done, yeah, there's a proper balance though of enough action and enough thinking. That's what I like about physical pursuits, man. You find out who you are. You know, you find out whether or not you're that person who can keep going, whether you're that person who is consistent. So many people, they start off like, I'm going to run a mile a day, and they run a mile a day for a couple of weeks and they fall off. You know, it's consistency. This showing up when you don't want to show up, forcing yourself to do things you don't want to, but then reaping the rewards.
See, happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. If I win, I will be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's an if-then, cause and effect, quid pro quo standard that we cannot sustain because we immediately raise it every time we attain it. See, happiness demands a certain outcome. It is result reliant. And I say if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently. You're going to be unhappy much of your time. Joy, though. Joy is a different thing. It's something else. Joy is not a choice. It's not a response to some result. It's constant. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do. It is just as important where we are not as it is where we are. Look, the first step that leads to our identity in life is usually not, I know who I am. I know who I am. That's the first step. The first step's usually, I know who I am not. Process of elimination. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are. South of New Orleans a few years ago, and I went to a voodoo shop, and they had this wooden partition against the wall, these columns, and in these columns were all these vials of these magic potions, right? And the headings above each potion defining what they would give you were things like fertility, health, family, legal help, energy, forgiveness, money. Guess which column was empty? Money. Let's admit it. Money is king today. It's what makes the world go round. It is success. The more we have, the more successful we are, right? And I would argue that our cultural values have even been financialized. Humility is not the vogue anymore. It's too passive. To get rich quick on the internet, rich is 15 minutes of fame world that we live in, and we see it every day. But we all want to succeed, right? So the question that we've got to ask ourselves is what success is to us, what success is to you. More money? Fine, I got nothing against money. No? Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound, leave the world a little bit better place than we found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize yourself. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. It tastes sweet, but you will get cavities tomorrow, right? Life is not a popularity contest. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill?